because it is time for the top 5s to return for the summer anyways. The top 5s are back for the summer, guys. I apologize, we would be doing these more often, but scheduling, and we're busy now these days. Like, very busy, but we promised that we would be doing top 5s every summer for at least the summertime, from May to August. This is actually a topic I've wanted to tackle for a long time, and before we get on to that, Joe and Lucas are joining me for this top 5. Yes, welcome.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? This is a subject I've been wanting to tackle for a long time, mainly because history, you know, and plus the new King Arthur is coming out, which I am dying to see.
Please be good.
I know, I'm praying it's good. So, Lucas, Joe, and I will be talking about our top 5 favorite historical epics of all time. What qualifies as an historical epic? Well, something that happened back in time that changed the course of history forever. Now, before we get into the top 5s, of course, as always, we do have a few honorable mentions.
And this one's kind of obvious, but for how this movie was presented and how this movie made one character in history like so relevant in today's age is amazing. It's the Passion of the Christ.
That's not a bad choice, actually.
I cried actually when I watched this movie. It was a tough watch for me to see what happens to Jesus.
Now, this is an honorable mention. I know some people are gonna be like, that doesn't count. Well, it does count because it's a retelling event. It's 300 by Zack Snyder. A very underrated Zack Snyder movie besides Watchmen. It is not completely accurate, but it's a retelling.
I got 3 actually. One's actually an animated one. It's The Wind Rises, because that was actually based.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
Damn.
Because that was actually based on the Japanese engineer. The other one I got was Race, which was based on the life and career of Jesse Owens, the Olympic.
Yeah.
And then the last one is actually a very good classic, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, thank God I haven't either, actually.
Well, it's a pretty good.
I'm glad I'm not the only
It's
one.
considered the one of the goats of movies.
Goats.
Greatest of all time.
Alright, guys, so honorable mentions. So let's jump into our favorite historical epics of all time. Let's get on. Epic.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
Number 5.
This film was my #1 favorite film of 2011, and that is War Horse.
Fuck, I forgot about that movie.
How did you forget about War Horse? This was a great, fantastic movie. Favorite film 2011. This was
your favorite film of that year, really?
Yeah, it was. It was my favorite film 2011. War Horse was excellent. Loved the horse in the movie. The acting was excellent. Steven Spielberg did an amazing job with this movie. This is a movie that you should go see if you love World War I movies and you also love horses. If you're like an animal lover, horses. You'll love this movie. It's such a great tale of this one horse conquering through pretty much everything, going through everything that's happening in World War I. An excellent story. Go see it.
So number 5 is another underrated film. Although this was nominated for Oscars, it was, and this is an amazing film. I love this culture. It is The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai
I
tells...
actually have never seen this. I need to.
Really? It's amazing.
For some reason, I've never seen this one.
Just think of it like a samurai version of Avatar.
I want to see it though. I haven't wanted to see it.
The Last Samurai tells the story of Captain Nathan Algren. I just looked this up just so I can refresh myself on the story. As he is captured by samurai when he is hired by a Japanese army to take out the last samurai. And as Nathan Algren is spending time with the samurai culture, he begins to, you know, grow more fondly of the culture. He falls in love, of course, and then at the last battle, he has to stand with the last samurai. And let me tell you guys, this is an amazing film. It's shot beautifully with an amazing score by Hans Zimmer, should I add. If you love samurai like myself, and by the way, just a fun fact, when this movie came out, I begged my dad to take my brother to go see this. I begged him to take me to go see it, but we went to a different movie, and then afterwards we actually snuck into it, and we saw like the last 10 minutes, and my dad was like, tomorrow we'll go see it then. See this movie, it's amazing. See it, Last Samurai, number 5.
So my numero 5, that's Italian for 5. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but I call this the ultimate revenge movie. This one is called The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a really, really good movie. Guy Pearce plays a guy who gets framed for a crime, gets put in jail, and he loses pretty much everything. And he gets betrayed by his best friend, pretty much, and steals his girlfriend.
Oh.
So now,
Fuck that guy.
so the whole movie is about him trying to escape from jail with the help of old Dumbledore before Michael Gambon took over.
Oh, right,
Yeah, so-
before Harris passed away.
And they have a pretty good epic sword fight at the end.
I want to see this movie now.
It's a really good movie. It goes down as like one of my favorites. Count of Monte Cristo. It's a good revenge film. If you like revenge movies, this is one of the goats in terms of revenge, but not of all time greatest.
Number 4.
This is Russell Crowe's one of his best movies
Yes.
ever. Are you not entertained? Gladiator. How can you not love Gladiator? This is such an amazing historical piece.
I love Gladiator.
This definitely deserved its Best Picture win.
Yes.
It deserved
I agree with that
it by
completely.
far.
It did.
It was an excellent Roman movie, and this movie has such great quotable lines. The action scenes are excellent.
Yeah, the Gladiator
directing
scenes are
is
amazing.
unbelievable. If you have not seen Gladiator, what are you doing? Go see Gladiator. If you're a Russell Crowe fan,
Yeah.
go see this movie.
better
That's
version
why
of The Revenant.
Gladiator is my number 4.
My number 4 is actually a movie I saw a few months back, quite recently. And you guys are going to be wondering what took you so long to see this movie. It's because, I don't know, honestly. Number 4 is Braveheart. Yes, I saw this movie just recently, Braveheart. Oh my god, this movie is a spectacle. It tells the story of William Wallace, played by Mel Gibson, who also directed this movie. It is kind of a revenge film in a sense. It has the revenge film elements because, you know, his girlfriend gets killed. Or no, his wife gets killed, my bad. So he pretty much just goes on a conquest throughout Scotland to take out his enemies. And my god, this movie is brutal. It tells a beautiful story. And another amazing score by the late James Horner. It's one of those movies where, yes, the movie has a daunting length, but you do not feel that 3 hours whatsoever because it just keeps constantly throwing things at you. Loved Braveheart from start to finish. I cannot believe I took this on to take it, but I blame my dad because he showed me Pink Flamingos instead of movies like this. My dad shows me Pink Flamingos at an early age rather than Braveheart.
Well, then again, Pink Flamingos is a cult classic.
I don't give a shit.
My number 4 actually was around the time YouTube was around. So when this trailer came out, it started the whole, I wouldn't say started the whole thing, but it was like one of the biggest memes at the time. It's actually a number. It's 300.
Really?
Yeah,
Sparta.
I like 300.
300 is awesome.
Gerald Butler, I didn't know who this guy was until 300 came along.
Yeah.
First of all, just looking at the backgrounds is kind of cheesy in a way. Just I thought it was too unrealistic in terms of background. But
I understand that.
the fights, I love the action in it.
This is when we fight!
Tonight we dine in hell!
It's such a fun movie to watch too, seriously.
And then before he dies, may you live forever, which is one of the worst things that you can tell someone. 300, it would have been appropriate for number 3, but I put it as 4.
There's 3 words in this movie title for my next pick for number 3. Number 3 is a big number, and if you were thinking it's the year it came out is 3 times 2 plus 50 plus 1900, so it is Lawrence of Arabia. God damn, I screwed that up.
I was thinking 1956. What is that? Oh,
Lawrence of Arabia.
I have never seen Lawrence of Arabia.
It is an amazing.
I actually slept through it twice. I couldn't finish it. That's why I didn't put it on the list.
Oh, dude, I love Lawrence of Arabia.
I hear amazing things about Lawrence of Arabia, but I've never seen it.
Here's my question though. How come this movie did not win the Best Picture?
What won in its place?
Let me see. Oh, it was actually 1962, my bad, so I messed up. God damn it. Oh, it actually did win Best Picture.
Oh, it did?
I'm surprised.
Okay.
There you go. Now you gotta redo the entire thing.
No, he doesn't have to redo it.
It actually came out in 1962, but it does have a 3 in there times 2 somewhere in there, so. Anyway, Lawrence of Arabia, or you could do 6 divided by 2 equals. Dude, Peter O'Toole, and he does such an amazing job. This is a great picture. It is deserved Best Picture because 1962, it definitely deserved one of the Best Picture winners, Best Picture winners of all time, I think. Lawrence of Arabia deserved everything it got. Peter O'Toole is amazing in this. The directing is amazing in this. Pretty much the best thing in this movie that really caught my eye within the first minute of this movie is the cinematography. Lawrence of Arabia is a masterpiece. If you've not seen Lawrence of Arabia, you need to go see it. It is a great film. That's why it's my 3.
Alright, my number 3. You guys are going to be wondering how it's not here, and that's because there are 2 movies I simply love more. This is one of the best war movies I have ever seen. Probably the best war movie I've ever seen. That is Saving Private Ryan.
I know.
My number 3. Saving Private Ryan tells the story of, I can't remember the character's name, but he's played by Tom Hanks, who is in World War II, and he spends out on a mission to go save Private Ryan, played by Matt Damon. I must add that this has possibly the best sequence ever told in a war film. The
D-Day?
Yeah,
the D-Day?
Yeah, the D-Day sequence. There is not a single point in this movie in which I was bored. Every single moment of this movie feels like it's given the horrors of World War II. If you love World War II movies, especially if you're obsessed with that subject, and if you haven't seen this movie, how? And didn't it win Best Picture at the Oscars?
No.
No.
Because Shakespeare in Love won. My number 3, I actually took out, like, I went back and I retracted putting this on a previous top 10 list I did back in 2012. Victor Hugo wrote the story based on the events. Then they turned it into an opera, which led to Les Miserables becoming a 2012 movie. So Les Miserables is number 3.
Wow.
Wow! Not the 2012 one, I imagine.
Oh, no. I actually put that as the 2012 version. I mean, the story itself is pretty epic. I mean, you have a guy who who has a prison life, but ends up being saved by a priest, ends up becoming a priest himself, and then ends up having to trying to take care of a prostitute's daughter who ends up dying, and then ultimately being led by Russell Crowe, who's trying to like pursue him because he's like a man on the lam, pretty much. The music is amazing, but
yeah, the music is amazing, especially when Anne Hathaway sings. Oh my god, that broke my heart the first time I saw it.
I thoroughly enjoy it. I haven't watched it a second time
cool,
recently,
cool.
So
glad you like it more now.
Yeah, Les Miserables number 3.
Number 2.
I got something to say, Austin. I'm disappointing you because you pretty much talked about my top 2 ones. First is Braveheart, is my number 2. You pretty much took most of it, unfortunately. Hey. So I'm going to go briefly into what I liked about this movie. Mel Gibson, they will never take our freedom. So yeah, Mel Gibson was awesome. The directing was amazing. The score, James Horner, was unbelievable for this movie. The length really does not hurt this movie. It does not really feel like how long it is. It does not really feel like it at all. It's awesome to watch. This is a must-watch for any person who loves Mel Gibson. It's pretty much one of those movies you have to watch. It's one of the best movies ever. One of the best movies of the 90s, for sure. It definitely deserves Best Picture, and that's why it's my number 2.
Alright, my number 2, Lucas, you mentioned it before as well, actually.
Yay!
And it is, personally, my favorite Ridley Scott movie, Gladiator.
Oh,
love this movie so... It's a fucking joke. This was a movie that before I graduated high school, my Bible teacher, Mr. Ridgel, told me... Mr. Ridgel told me about this movie.
Oh, we couldn't watch that with him. Okay.
Yeah, I was telling him how I'd never seen it, and he said, dude, watch it, okay? And this was back in the time when we used to pirate or torrent a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I downloaded this movie. My mom, one of my mom's best friends was in town. I watched the movie. I put it on, and she was like, "Oh, you're watching Gladiator?" I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Let me join you." I was like, "Please." It was like the movie like cast a spell on me the moment it started. The movie is an absolute masterpiece. I'm just gonna say the movie is a masterpiece. I'm glad it won Best Picture, and damn right it did. Russell Crowe is amazing in this movie. Everybody, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. If a movie was to ever be released in IMAX, I feel like Gladiator would be perfect in IMAX, especially the Coliseum scenes. Like, imagine being in our local IMAX city place. Imagine watching Gladiator on that screen. That'd be amazing nonetheless. It's also my favorite movies of all time, but if you're wondering, how is not number 1? That's because there's a movie that I consider to be a perfect movie. And that's why Gladiator is my number 2.
Now, Austin, you said that Last Samurai was a better told version of the whole Avatar, Pocahontas story than Avatar was.
Yeah.
Well, I have to correct you on that. Because Dances with Wolves is the better telling of this.
Never seen Dances with Wolves. Never seen it.
I've seen it. It's definitely a good movie. I will give it. It's a pretty good movie.
That's beautiful. Best production design that I've ever seen out of.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
The way that the cinematography just captured everything is so.
It's also Kevin Costner's directorial debut.
Yes, and gave me more appreciation for Kevin Costner, not more as an actor, but also as a director. Even though he never went on to do anything great afterwards. Took place during the Civil War era. Was trying to take all these Native Americans out of their land because it was owned by a particular group of Americans, particularly I can't remember if it was the North or the South. I haven't seen it in a long time, but from beginning to end, I mean, it's not only does it tell like a great story about how two language barriers. I mean, you're talking about two people that don't even speak their languages really well, just coming together and finally grew an appreciation for the Indians. It's also a good love story. It is one of the GOATs of American cinema.
There we go.
That's it. If you want to talk about the Goodfellas, Dances with Wolves argument, who should have won the Oscar, talk to me later. But number 2, Dance with Wolves.
It's number 1.
Number 1 should be pretty obvious if you guys do not know, haven't followed my list, and you don't know what hasn't come up yet. It's here right now. Saving Private Ryan. It's a masterpiece, a phenomenal film that pretty much can be watched over and over and over again. This is such a great film. Meet and Tom Hanks, aka Alexander the Great. This is such a fantastic film. Everything. This is a perfect war movie. If you want to show people a perfect war movie, it's an unbelievable masterpiece. It should have won the Oscar, in my opinion, over Shakespeare in Love. Overall, I'm gonna agree on the most part for pretty much everything. So with that being said, that's why it's my number 1.
Alright, so my number 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, the reason why Gladiator did not make the list is because Gladiator does have one certain flaw to it, because that's pacing here and there. With this one, I consider this movie to be absolutely pitch perfect. There is nothing wrong with this movie, and my humble take, and that is Ben-Hur, the 1959 version of Ben-Hur. This movie is absolutely perfect. There is not a single flaw in this movie, and not to mention this movie is nearly 4 hours long.
I have not seen it.
It's amazing. It's a revenge story, it's a love story, it's a war movie at the same time, and it's a biblical movie at the same time. It combines so many different genres, and it weaves them into this perfect little bow that we call Ben-Hur. It starts off as basically these two brothers that are arguing. They love each other at first, and the one brother wants something out of the other brother, but he says, no, I will not do so. And as a matter of fact, he frames him for that, if I remember correctly. It's like he frames him or something for something he didn't do. As a result, Ben-Hur, the principal character of the movie, gets sent off as a slave. He's exiled, then he comes back to get revenge on his brother. But he comes back, and the journey that he goes through is just, starting from the boat scene, which is one of the best sequences I've ever seen, to the chariot scene, which is, I think, one of the best, if not the best, action sequence ever done in film history. And the acting is great. How everything is shot, the miniatures with the boat scene looked amazing. The action sequences are amazing. The pacing is perfect in this movie. You have so much story to tell within this movie, and yet it doesn't feel bloated. It doesn't feel like there's too much within it. It feels like there's just enough within this movie, and plus the ending of this movie is just perfect. It's a perfect movie. I cannot recall a single flaw I have with Ben-Hur. It's a perfect movie. It's a spectacle. It's a GOAT. I will say that right.
6 out of 5. Fry.
It actually is. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Ben-Hur is an amazing film. I believe it won Best Picture at the Oscars. I'm not too certain on that. Let me actually check really quick. Yep, it won Best Picture, and you're goddamn right it did, because this movie, like I said, it's perfection. Yeah, Ben-Hur 1959 is, in my opinion, the best historical movie ever made.
And I know you guys are wanting to not see this movie again, considering how painful it was. It is based on real events, because the man wrote a diary based on all of his experiences. And it's best picture winner. Came out a couple of years ago. And that's 12 Years a Slave.
Okay.
Oh,
okay, you know what? No, I understand that completely.
I understand too.
I can't believe. I mean, I was doing research on this list. And I was like, should I put this on this list? I was like, I don't know if I can, to be honest.
It's like, as I know, it was painful for you guys.
No, it was. I cannot ever watch this movie again. It was that harrowing. Like, this movie is just, it just beats you mercilessly throughout the entire thing.
It's a time in our country's history where we are not proud of as a society and as a people. It just goes over everything that was wrong with slavery back during the Civil War times. It affected so many people, so much so that they don't want to watch it again because who wants to relive that point? It's a pretty moving piece, and it deserved all the wins that it got.
I wish Gravity personally won, but I see why 12 Years a Slave won. Yeah. I see why it won.
Yeah, probably one of the most important times in our history, and I couldn't escape putting this on there regardless, because we are doing historical epics. And that was epic, and it is pretty historical.
It was, yeah.
And you have to find the ultimate one, and for us, I think that was appropriate for it.
I think for number ones is actually pretty on point. 12 Years, Ben-Hur, Private Ryan. I think we all have actually pretty decent number ones, actually.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's mine.
Alrighty, guys. So we have gone through our whole mentions. We've gone through 5 through 1. I'm sorry about the audio error. I completely forgot to put down the microphone, but it's back in. So, now, I've been waiting for this, and it's back for the Summer Top 5. So, it is time for... It is time for the worst, aka the shit stains of the historical epics, the worst that we have ever seen of all time. So, since Lucas has been going from... our mentions for 5 through 1, Joe will start off with this.
I actually did a short film about this. About this material.
If it's what I'm thinking it is.
And I thought my version was better than this.
Oh, Christ. What?
The deep hurting moment is Beowulf.
Yep. It's Robert Zemeckis. He directed it. Yeah.
Because they tried to make this into like the new 300.
Yeah, like and plus they did the same CG with Polar Express.
It was all computer animated. Okay, so they got the first act right, which was Beowulf comes to this kingdom to beat Grendel, the monster that's wreaking havoc on everybody. But here's where they screwed things over, because this was not in the original story. The king of the entire kingdom is practically Grendel's father, and they had this whole weird thing where it's like the son can't kill the father, or something like that. That was not even in the original story. Angelina Jolie's like, I need a new son. Beowulf, you look pretty hot. Give me a son, and I'll give you all the riches in the world. They made it seem like Beowulf was not the hero that people thought he was, and that he was just a liar and a deceiver. And like they went in that direction. The whole Beowulf lore of it was like he was this legend that defeated 3 different monsters, a giant beast, his own mother, and then he took on an entire dragon and then died with all his treasures around him. And then instead it was like, you are not the hero that we thought you were. You're Batman. There was like so many like correlations with 300, it wasn't even funny. But no, that's the deep hurting moment for me was Beowulf.
Alrighty guys, my worst, the thing that pissed me off the most with historical epics, this filmmaker I never liked. I mean, there's a few films like, you're pretty decent when you actually try. But my God, thank you, Michael Bullshit, for Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I call him Michael Bullshit because he's full of bullshit.
Have you seen The Rock?
I have not. That's never again as well.
No, not Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No shit, Sherlock. When I found out that Michael Bay was going to do a Pearl Harbor movie, it looked good from the trailers, just like every Michael Bay movie does look good from a trailer. But the trailers can sometimes look better than the movie, and this was the case. The trailer was an Oscar winner itself. The movie itself, though...
So many problems.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, the biggest problem with the movie, was that it focuses on a fucking love triangle the whole time. Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck.
Bill Affleck.
Ben Affleck are in love with Kate Beckinsale. I don't know why they decided to concentrate on this. If they would just have focused on the two of them fighting through World War II in Pearl Harbor, then that would have been actually a pretty cool story. That would actually be pretty cool. But no, they had to put in a fucking love triangle instead, which Michael... Sure, some scenes do go into the horrors of World War II for certain, but no, they are daunted when you are waterboarded with constant Michael Bay explosions. As Angry Joe said, play the clip.
You done fucked it up.
That's how I feel about it. If any World War II fan or any enthusiast likes this movie, I will question you. I could go on how much I hate this movie, but yeah, Pearl Harbor from Michael Bullshit is why it's my shit stain of historical epics of all time.
I actually watched a film around a couple months ago, and I'm like, wow, how come I actually remember this movie? My worst historical movie, historical epic, is Pompeii.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh my god, this movie.
How can you make a story out of that?
Directed by the guy who did the
Paul
Resident Evil
W.S.
movies.
Anderson. Pompeii is just so stupid. The acting is terrible. The effects are terrible.
Kit Harington from Jon Snow from Game of Thrones is in this movie, by the way.
Yep.
Yep. So is Kiefer Sutherland.
Everyone was awful in this
yeah.
movie. No one knew how to act. The story was stupid.
I wouldn't say no one knew how to act because I haven't seen this. I blame it on the director.
The story you completely get lost in. I literally lost. I'm like, what? What just happened? Why are we doing this? Why is everyone going to this way? Why is Pompeii exploding? No one knows. I guess it's not explained. They don't know why. I don't know, and I don't care. This movie is annoying. What is that going on the sky? Why is there magma coming up? Blah, 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 blah. Pompeii literally is one of those movies you could probably just find in a Walmart bin. You find it in a Walmart bin. And the guy scans it and he just throws in the 99-cent bin. That's what's gonna that's what happened with this movie.
This ain't
it becomes a
99
Walmart
cents.
bin to a 99-cent bin, and from there it goes to the trash. Pompeii is such a terrible movie. I don't know why anyone would want to see it. That's why it's my shit stain for historical epic.
Alrighty guys, we have extinguished our anger, and we have not only done that, but we have told you guys our top 5 favorite historical epics of all time, along with some honorable mentions. Guys, thank you so much for watching us. Again, I apologize for not being able to do this every month because, you know, scheduling, but we're happy to at least do them every summer. But anyways, comment down, let us know below, what are your favorite historical epics of all time? Give us a few honorable mentions, and also let us know what is your least favorite of them all. Thank you to Joe and Lucas for joining for this epic list. Lucas, you'll be back for the next top 5.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
And if you guys want to see more top 5s like this, hit that subscribe button, as we're gonna be doing the top 5s every summer, and we also have 2 top 5s coming next month, which I cannot wait to tell you guys about. But anyways, until our next 2 top 5s, until then, we'll see you guys next time. See you guys next time.
See you later, stay awesome, and join the notification squad by clicking that bell.